Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
So guys, Chris Myers is from Success Lending, and I was introduced to him, thankfully, from Lisa Sears, who I think is with a client right now. Hopefully she can join us when she's done. But the idea I had was uh, the whole principle, the whole concept of loans, mortgage and note collectively is what your consumers get when they buy a house. So the note is the promise to pay from the consumer to the lender, and the mortgage is from the lender to the consumer saying, we're going to tie this note to this property and you're going to owe us until you die. That's kind of what mortgage means. So in any case, beyond that, there's an entire mystery, particularly in the underwriting process. And you've seen loans go through, pre-approval, approval, inspections, appraisals, gathering all the data, gathering more data, answering more questions, gathering even more data. Then it goes to this magical mystery place called underwriting. And basically it's like a board. Sometimes it's 6 people. Small banks, it's just a handful of people sitting around a table and they literally review the mortgage application and give it the final approval and they clear to close. So that process, it's always a mystery to us. Why do they approve some and not others? So I wanted Chris to kind of go over that timeline, but also talk more about success lending, because it's an excellent company and the things they do for us are startling. So Lisa loves Chris. I mean, I've heard nothing but good over the last year or so. So in any case, Chris, you want to go ahead and take over? You've got the floor, and I'll keep up on the chat box. You'll have the access to the chat as well.
Okay.
Do you like taking questions as they come, or strategic stopping points?
Just stop me whenever you got a question. I'm
Gotcha.
easy.
Okay.
Cheap too.
Yeah.
So there's that. So let me share this with you
Okay.
and let me know when you guys can see this. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Yay. Okay. All right. So as Gary said, my name's Chris Myers. I've been in the business for about 26 years. I started here in Dallas back in 2000, end of 2000. I haven't jumped a lot of places like you see a lot of lenders do. I was with Countrywide back in 2005. They got bought out by Bank of America in 2008. I was there till 2010 when they decided to make my sales team or group a servicing department and modifications and stuff. And we all went, nope. So from there, I went to a place called MetLife Home Loans, and we thought we were all going to be there till we died. And then MetLife's president decided they wanted to stay with insurance and not so much banking. And then I was with Stearns Lending from 2012 until 2022. And then I came here. Success Lending is owned. Let me go to this. We're owned by Glenn Stearns and Glenn Sanford. So what you guys own, he owns. He owns. Sean Patrick is our president. I've worked with Sean for about 15 years. I worked for Glenn when I worked for Stearns Lending. It was kind of cool when I was, leaving Stearns, and Glenn had started Kind Lending, which is our parent company, and said, look, you want to come home? I said, hell yeah, I want to come home. So I started in 2022 with Success. And I'm very, very happy that we have the partnership with eXp. Glenn and Glenn, both spelled with 2 N's. Who would have thunk it? Glenn Sanford is obviously a genius when it comes to real estate. Glenn Stearns is a multi-billionaire and knows his stuff when it comes to this business. So it's really cool that they've gotten into business together. And now when people ask you, do you happen to own your own mortgage company? You can say unequivocally, yes, you do. So our partnership, why would you choose Success Lending? Because you own Success Lending. We're your own mortgage company. You have ownership, profit and rev share. We'll get into that here in just a few minutes. Our EXP and success lending cultures are exactly the same. We put the customer first. Okay. We make you look like rock stars. That is my job, is to make you look like a rock star. So if there's any questions that anybody has, hey, why would I want to work with Lisa Sears? Because Lisa's the best. Same thing I would say about any of you. Our job is to make you guys look like rock stars. We have employee and client benefits like you won't believe. We'll get into that here in just a minute. And marketing. We can co-market with anything that you guys want to market with. We have over 150 things and products and things like that that we can market with you. And I'll show you some of those examples here in just a second. The eXp employee loan benefit. What that means, significantly reduced pricing and fees. Your priority in loan processing and underwriting. Now, I will say this, all the loans that you guys give to us go to priority. Okay. If you have a client that is working with you and you send them to me, they automatically go to the top of the list. Okay. They get priority underwriting. Okay. Just want to make sure that everybody knows that. But when it comes to you, let's say you buy a $300,000 house. I'm going to give you $3,000 in lender credit, 1%. We'll give you 1% off the sales price for your pricing. Okay. A lot of people will look at that and they'll go, oh, you're going to give us 1 point off the rate. No, it's 1%. It's 100 bips basically. So
Does
it does
that
mean,
also count for investment properties
yeah, I'll
or
get to
just a
that.
personal home?
No, it's investment properties too.
Okay.
But the processing, the occupancy types, like I said, that is investment, that is primary, and it is also secondary. So if you're buying a second home, you can use this product. Okay. All residential property types, condos, a single family, you name it, we can do it. Purchase and refinance. Now it is FHA and conventional programs. It says only, but we just upgraded that to include VAs. So we'll give you the 1%. The other thing that we'll do as far as your buyers go and things like that. Well, here's the flyer of the 100 bips, 1% of the loan amount. And this is when they did add the VA. USDA got added as well. Non-QM is included. So if you do a DSCR loan, an investment property loan, yes, we will give you the 100 bips. Absolutely. And there's my goofy looking mug with all my information. Now, the cool thing is with all these programs that we have for you guys, we even go over the top for your buyers. Okay. And we'll talk about the marketing and stuff here in just a minute, but let's get into the programs that we have that we can do with your buyers. The Buyer's Best program. We're going to reimburse your buyers up to $650 for their appraisal at closing. Okay. Oh, did I hear somebody say something? No? Okay. Um, this is it's reimbursed at closing. So it's not something where we're going to pay for it when they say, okay, you have to pay for your appraisal. It's once we get to the closing table and we'll show it on the final closing disclosure. That'll be the $650 appraisal fee that we'll give you. Now, what we can do is I can co-market any of these with you. Let's say Rob Parrott, because I'm looking at your picture right here. I can put your headshot and all of your information, Rob Parrott, real estate agent, your license number, your phone number, your email, and where you're located, and that will all go right here. So we can co-market anything we've got. Okay. This is the $650 Buyer's Best program is what it's called. If you send me a headshot and you send me your information, I can put together a marketing piece in about 4 minutes. It's just that easy. And I'll get you a portfolio of stuff that you can use. Okay. You can use it for the Buyer's Best. You can use it for the Veterans Credit that we have. This is my favorite product that we have out of anything. The reason being is because I am a sucker for the military. My brother is a Marine. My grandfather and his two brothers were all in World War II. My great uncle was in Pearl Harbor when it was attacked. My other great uncle was actually on the USS Missouri when it sailed into Tokyo Bay and the Japanese surrendered. So we had a lot of really interesting discussions at Thanksgiving when I was growing up. So it was really cool. Getting to go to Pearl Harbor a few years ago was one of my bucket list things. And I got to stand on the rail where my uncle stood while the Japanese signed the surrender paperwork. So that was pretty cool. But the $1,500 lender credit, that applies to every veteran we've got. Okay. So it doesn't matter if it's a veteran spouse, we can do it. Okay. If it is someone who passed and the veteran's spouse gets the VA credit, we'll still do the $1,500. Okay. That applies to anything they want it to apply to. You can apply it towards the closing costs. You can apply it towards the points if they want to buy down their rate. Doesn't matter. $1,500 across the board. And again, we can co-market it right here with you guys. Just that easy. We also have down payment assistance programs. We have an FHA 100% national down payment program. We actually have two of them. One of them is called Essex. One of them is called Sussex. Um, uh, Essex is a little bit cheaper across the board. The rates on these things are not the greatest, but again, we're giving you 100% funds. Sometimes we can give you 101%, which means we can give you 3.5 towards your closing costs, and then we can give you another 1.5 towards, or not 3.5 towards down payment, and then another 1.5 that can go towards your closing costs. So if you can get a seller concession of any kind, they may not have to bring anything to the table. FICO's as low as 600. Really no debt to income limitations. There are, but they usually go up 50% or a little bit higher. You can do a 0% forgivable. Okay. Or you can amortize the payback for 10 years. If you do it, let's say you get a 6.5 interest rate on your first. The second would be 8.5. So it's 2 points higher than it is on the first, but it's a 10-year fixed. There's no prepayment penalty. There's no third-party delays. You can get gift funds on these things. It's just a regular FHA loan, but you can actually get them a down payment assistance, and then they have a little bitty second if they want it. They'll get a cheaper rate. So, because usually if you do a forgivable on one of these, the rates tend to get a little bit squirrely and the points get way up there. So if you're not able to bring a down payment, odds are you're probably not going to be able to bring points to the table either. So I always recommend the 3.5 down, get the 1.5 seconds. So you're financing 5% and you're doing it over 10 years and you can pay it off whenever you want. So it's just that easy. Seller contribution limits. A lot of people aren't really aware of what seller contributions look like these days. On a conventional loan, if you're putting less than 10% down, you can get a 3% seller contribution. Okay. If you put 10 to 25% down, usually it's 6%. If you put more than 25% down, you get a 9% concession. Not sure what seller out there is really going to want to put a 9% concession on a loan, but you've got it if you need it. FHA, 6% across the board. So, they put 3.5% down, 6%. They put 5% down, 6%. Doesn't matter. A lot of people have asked what's the difference between a conventional FHA, VA, USDA. Conventional, that is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. FHA is going to give you a better interest rate because it's government. Okay. If you don't put 20% down on a loan, you're going to have what's called mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance it protects the lender. If you put 20% down or more on a conventional, you won't have mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is usually based on the ratios. I think it's like 0.55% these days is what it is. But I can get that to you once we get off the call. FHA, if you don't put more than 11% down, actually 10% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. If you put enough down, you would only have the mortgage insurance for 11 years. So, but most people, when they're doing an FHA, they want to put the least amount down, and that's 3.5%. So FHAs are a really good first-time home buyer deal, and we'll get into the what Gary was talking about the meat and potatoes of, the process of what goes on when we put a loan into processing. VAs, you can go up to 4%. It does say a total of 9%, but no, 8%. I'm sorry. But VAs usually they cap it at 4%. But again, if you can get a 4% concession from a VA seller, and we're going to give them another $1,500, they're really not bringing. And I'm going to use a real technical term in the mortgage industry. They don't need to bring jack squat. So,
Hmm.
USDAs, those are a little bit different animal. USDA has to be underwritten twice, has to be underwritten by us, has to be underwritten by a USDA underwriter for the state. In a lot of states, we tend to call the underwriters for USDA Dr. No, because they really love to say no. So you really want to have something that's really strong on a USDA. Number one, they can't make too much money on a USDA. Number two, the property has to be in a USDA eligible area. And I have all the tools here where I can look all that up, and I can tell you in a couple of minutes if the property that they want is USDA eligible. Then we can start looking at their income. It's also based on the number of people in the household. How many people are making money? If you just have one borrower on the loan, he makes $40,000 a year, and his spouse is not going to be on the loan. If she's making $50,000 a year, we have to count that 50,000. So that's $90,000. So it goes against the area median income, which is usually 80% of the area median income. So if you have more questions about USDA, that's a really long conversation, and we'll get into that. If you have more questions about that, I'm happy to do so. DSCR loan programs. We do a lot of investment properties these days. I'm getting pretty good at them. Hadn't done them before I came to Success Lending. And minimum score 620, max loan amounts 2.5 million, but I think we've got an investor who might be able to go more if you need it. Um, the max LTV based on your credit. Okay, if you have a 780 credit score, there's a possibility you could put 15% down, not 20% down. But there are no 5 and 10% down on DSCR loans. A lot of times you have to have reserves in the bank. Now we've got a couple of investors and us as well, where some of them you only have to have 3 months worth of reserves. A lot of others you have to have 6 months reserves. Again, it depends on how much you put down. It's so easy. You don't have to have any income. All we need is a 1007 rent schedule. That's it. And that's where an appraiser goes out, looks at the property, and says, based on other comparables in the area and based on rents that they're getting, that's what we think the rent would be. And as long as it's 1-to-1, so let's say you have a $2,500 a month payment that comes up on your application, you have a $2,500 a month rent schedule, you're good, 1-to-1. If it's less than that, then we need to work on the numbers a little bit and see what we're going to do. As far as citizenship goes, we can do U.S., we can do, what's the word I'm looking for? Green card holders, and we can do ITINs. So permanent resident, that's what it was. And it was written right there the whole time. So, and again, I can market any of these with you. I can send you anything you want. Okay. Our product menu, Fannie, Freddie for conventionals, Govies, FHA, USDA, VA. We can do renovation loans. They are a pain in the butt, but we can do them if you need them. Fannie Mae home style, what that one is, it goes with the, God, what's the word I'm looking for? It just left me. Not renovation, things that are up for auction. Foreclosures. Thank you. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. FHA $100 down payment program. That's another one for things that are on the auction block. I will tell you that the things that are in foreclosure, honestly, some people out there may think it's worth their time. Other people's won't. It's $100 down, but you have to have a house that is on the list on the chopping block. Basically, it's on the auction steps being ready to go. Okay. So if you get one of those, you can call us and we'll work on that with you. One-time close, there's a lot of places that are honestly shutting down their one-time close construction departments. We still have one. It is through a broker that we have. So if you have somebody that's looking to do a one-time close, I'm happy to run through that with you as well. Seconds in most states will do a bridge loan. We can do HELOCs if we need to. And closed-end seconds if you want to do like an 80-10-10 or an 80-20. We can do some of those. Non-QM, jumbo, 12 and 24-month bank statement loans. I'm doing a couple of the bank statement loans now. I got a guy who's trying to buy a $1.3 million house, doesn't have a job, but he's got $4.5 million in his bank. So, we take that, we take the last 12 to 24 months, we look at it, and he's averaging, about 30 grand a month. And if his payments are 5 grand a month on the house that he wants to buy, he is home free. So, things like that. We have profit and loss loans, DSCRs, like I talked about. There are programs for non-warrantable condos. You get those really few and far between. 1 year self-employment, asset utilization. Again, goes back to basically the bank statement loans. There are condotels out there. Those get a little goofy. Vacant land, I will tell you this, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you. We will offer a vacant land loan. Don't do a vacant land loan. Go through a land broker there where you're located. That's usually your best bet. Okay. The reason being is because with our vacant land loans, now you can certainly do it here. Would be happy to do it for you, but you have to put 35% down. It's a 20-year fixed, and your rate is usually in the eights. So a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, hell no. I just want to buy land. I don't want to take half the money and put it towards the payment. But I'm definitely happy to take a look at those for you if you like. We even have a physician's mortgage loan now. So we can talk about that one too. Reverse mortgages, we do have a department for that. And I talked about the down payment assistance as well. Now, this is my absolute favorite part about working at Success Lending. If you're doing a lot of listings, you have more listings than you do buyers. Hopefully the buyers will come to us and we'll, help you guys make a lot of money. Single property sites are a way that you can market your listings. If you have an active MLS and you have the address of the property, I can create a single property website for your property. Takes me about 5 minutes to put it in there. The way it comes across, it has the description of the property. It has a picture of the property that you can see here. Okay. It has different photos here. My information goes here. Your information goes here. Okay. It's like a 5-page website. And as you scroll down, it will give you the location of the schools nearby. It'll give you a location of like restaurants and other homes that have sold in the last 6 months. There's a calculator on there that you can use and your buyers could use if they want to play around with the payments. Okay. It has all the up-to-date ratios. It has all the up-to-date rates, things like that. It's all co-branded. Details of the area, like I said, details of the photos. Um, uh, and when you get towards the bottom, there's a really cool feature where it says schedule a showing. They click on that, your information pops up, they put in their information, hit go, and you get an email on it. Okay. You can put this on any marketing website or social media that you want. Up along the top of the screen on the website that you get, there's links to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter or X, or however you want to call it. There's also a place where you can make flyers for your open houses. And on these flyers, it looks kind of like this right here is what the flyer looks like. But up in the right-hand corner, up at the top, is a QR code that you can take to your open houses, and your buyers or your prospective clients can scan the QR code. And what that does, it takes them right to the website on their phone. And they can see a hell of a lot more information that they were getting from just the flyer. So it gives them everything that they need. So that is a really, really cool thing to have. Lisa, I believe I've done a couple of properties for Lisa. If anybody wants an example, just shoot me an email. I am happy to send you one. Or if you have a listing, send me an MLS number and the address, and I'll put one together for you and send it to you, and we can go over it together. It's just that easy. Okay, so current rates. rates have gone a little squirrely. They're the highest they've been in a couple of months right now, mainly just because we're bombing the bejeebers out of Iran right now. The oil prices have gone up just a little bit. They haven't gone way up, but they're up just a little bit. There's the dumbest correlation between fuel and rates. If you watch gas prices, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there on the West Coast who are going, yeah, our gas prices are way up there. In Texas right now, which is where I'm at, gas is like 3.25 a gallon. A week ago, before they started getting back into this, we were almost at $2.99 a gallon. We were almost there. We were like at $3, $2.99 a bunch of places. But when rates go up, gas goes up. When gas goes up, rates go up. When it comes down a little bit, it's the dumbest correlation. I couldn't tell you how it works. I have no idea. But somehow, if you watch the correlation, that'll give you an idea. I will tell you, there's a really good website out there called Mortgage News Daily. If you're ever interested in what the rates look like, that is a great way that you can go check. It'll give you news on the rates and things like that. I do want to tell you this as a lender to all the real estate agents out there. You guys probably know this, but don't talk about rates. Please don't. If you put something out there, I had somebody ask me the other day, well, I want to do a Monday morning blog thing and I want to talk about what rates are. Don't. If you want to talk about rates, call me. I'll give you a rate in less than a minute. The only thing we need is what they think their credit score is, what their sales price is, how much they want to put down, what kind of program they think they want, and a zip code. That's it. I can give you a quote in just a couple of minutes. But if you're out there quoting rates and things like that, yeah, I think I can get you a 3.99% rate. No, you can't. And they're gonna call you on it. And whatever you do, do not put it in writing. Okay. Because if you put something in writing on a rate, you have to put an APR on there too. Okay. So make sure that you're not putting a rate down or anything like that. If you need a quote, call me. I am more than happy to help you. Okay. Quotes, products, whatever somebody wants to talk about. I have a pricing engine that is always up on that screen right there. It's always there. So if you call me and you say, hey, I've got somebody who wants to talk about a rate, they want to see what it would cost them and what their payment might be, I can tell you really, really quickly. I can tell you. But whatever you do, do not talk rates, please. I don't want you to get in trouble. It's not a, hey, we're coming after you. It's I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want Gary to call you and say, why the hell were you quoting somebody a 5.25 rate when rates are 6.25 right now? So I want to make sure that you guys are covered. If I have to be the bad guy in these transactions, I will be the bad guy. I don't mind it. I really don't. I used to be a professional wrestler. I was a bad guy when I was a wrestler. So there's that. So, but again, there's a lot of things that you guys can go over with your clients that I can't. There's a lot of things that I can go over with your clients that you can't. Okay. But that's why we're a tag team. See how I did that with the wrestling thing? So we're a tag team. We're partners in this whole thing. Okay. I want to be your partner. I want to make sure that you shine when it comes to these mortgages and the process of getting a mortgage and going through the process of the mortgage. I'm going to get to the process here in just a minute. It's really, really easy. We have a couple of ways that your buyers can do a loan application. Loan applications are totally free, 100% free. Okay. They can do it online or they can do it over the phone, whichever they prefer. I will be happy to send you guys a link where you guys can share that with your buyers and say, look, if you want to fill out an application, do an application here. Number one, it's free. Number two, I will not pull credit on them. I'll do a soft pull, but I won't do a hard pull. Soft pull just gives us an idea about where they are. Okay. It's a TransUnion pull. It doesn't actually give us the actual rate, but we can pretty much decipher where they're going to be. Okay. And it lets us know, hey, you got a little work to do. Let us help you work on it. I'm not just going to turn people away if they come to us and they have a 560 credit score. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to tell them, look, you have some issues on your credit, and I'll go over it with them and say, look, I'm not a credit expert, but I will tell you this is probably where you want to start. Okay. And then I'll check back with them in another month, maybe another 3 weeks, or however long they think it'll take. Okay. So it's not one of these things where you're going to send me somebody and say, well, their credit might not be so good. Well, let's take a look. You know, it's not a, oh, yep, sorry, you're screwed, you're out. I don't do that. Okay. So I want to make sure that your people are taken care of. But they can do the application, do everything online. Once they hit submit, it comes right back to my system. It's a secured site, comes right back to my system. I get a hold of everything, put in a couple of things that I need to, and then I will call your buyer and we'll go over everything together. And if I can get them a pre-approval or a pre-qualification, I'll get them one out in the next 10 minutes and I will send it to you as well. That way you have a copy of it. Okay. My biggest concern during this whole process is communication. There's a lot of you out there, and I know you've had this happen before. Lenders will take your information. You've sent them somebody that they can work with. They'll get all that information. They'll get them locked, loaded, ready to go, and you'll never hear from them again because there are too many lenders out there that say, I'm getting my money from the buyer. I'm not getting my money from the agent. They could not be more wrong. Okay. Communication to me is king. After I was a professional wrestler, I was a radio talk show host in Dallas for 15 years. So if you can't tell, I like to talk. But it's really, really easy for people to forget where your bread's buttered. Okay. You guys are partners with me. If you're partners at a law firm, you're not going to have a lawyer on one side of the room not talk to the other lawyer. They're going to share their ideas, they're going to share the information, and they're going to talk to each other so they can win the case. Well, it's the same thing here. We're going to talk to each other during this whole process so we can win the day and we can win the house for your buyers and we can make sure that they get the keys at the end. Every email that I send to your buyer, I will send to you. Every time I send a text to the buyer, I will copy that text and I will send it to you. Say, I just sent this to your buyer. Okay. Because if you have a buyer that's unresponsive and I can't get a hold of them, odds are you can, you know? So that's why it becomes a tag team thing. But communication to me is key. At the very beginning of a loan process, I stay on board with your buyers the whole way. Hey, just checking in. Did you happen to see that house that you and Gary went and looked at? Yeah, we loved it. We're going to make an offer. Great. Let's get you pre-qualified. Or I know a lot of you will get a pre-qualification letter before you even think about going to show somebody a house. So we'll get you that. I'll get you everything you need to make your job easier. Okay. Once we get their information, we get the application submitted. We ask them for certain things, income, assets, other things like that. I send out a welcome letter that is pretty long and very detailed when it comes to communication up front with your buyers. I CC you on it as well. It gives them their new loan number, gives them their rate, gives them the subject property address, gives them the estimated payments, tells them everything that they're going to be going through during the process of a loan. Everything. Okay. I mean, it goes down to here's the items that we need you to upload, and we'll send them what's called a loan portal. We'll send them a link to a loan portal. If they do an application online, they automatically enroll in the loan portal. Gives them a username and a password. They can upload all of their docs to that loan portal. Every time there's well, I want to say a success with their loan, but there's a milestone with their loan, they'll get an update in their portal and they'll also get an email. Now, some of these emails are automated and not worth the page that they're written on, but it does give them an update. I usually send them an update as well. Okay. If we get an update from the processor says, hey, I still need an updated bank statement, I will email them, CCU. I need an updated bank statement for this month. Okay. You can upload it here. I don't have a problem with them sending it to me. I can upload it via email too. It's just that easy. Okay. So once their loan gets into processing, what happens? My processor name is Brenda Perez. She is amazing. She is the best processor I've ever worked with, and I've been doing this a long, long time. She dots the I's, crosses the T's, and sometimes when she's working late, she crosses the I's and dots the T's. But I'm just telling you, she's amazing. Okay. She will be in touch with your buyers immediately. Introduce herself. Okay. On that welcome letter, I will introduce them as well to Brenda. Okay. So Brenda's always going to be in the loop, just like you are. Brenda will order title work immediately. We will send their disclosures out to them via the portal. All they have to do is e-sign it. Click, click, click. You're done. That's it. Okay. Once we get all the disclosures back, we get all the income asset docs into the file, the loan goes to the underwriter. Okay. That's usually, it depends on your buyers. Okay. I'm not going to say it takes 24 or 36 hours. Depends on your buyers. Some buyers are with it. Some people are asleep on the hamster wheel. And we just got to keep poking them with a stick, nudging them. Really need your income. Really need your asset docs. Okay. If they want to send it, they're going to send it. But if I can't get a hold of them, you can. Okay. That's why we're a tag team. Okay. Once we get everything over to the underwriter, we usually get the title work back during that process. We will order the appraisal immediately after we get the initial documents, the initial disclosures e-signed. We'll order the appraisal immediately. Sometimes you will get an appraisal waiver. Okay. An appraisal waiver, I think to a lot of people doesn't mean the same thing. I think a lot of people will say, well, we're the seller doesn't need an appraisal or something like that. I mean, you guys have a different version of an appraisal waiver. An appraisal waiver we get from DU or LP. DU is the Fannie Mae underwriting system, and LP is Freddie Mac's. If they put enough down, they have enough assets, 9 times out of 10, we might get an appraisal waiver. FHAs always have to have one. VAs always have to have one. USDAs always have to have one, just so you know. Okay, but we'll order those immediately so we can get them done and get them back faster. I don't know if you guys remember during COVID, but ordering an appraisal was like pulling teeth, and getting it back within a month, month and a half was a miracle. Now we can usually get them back in 4 to 5 days, sometimes faster if we put it on a rush. So your loan is in underwriting. Underwriter comes back with a conditional approval, says, I still need this or I still need that. Okay. Underwriters are the neediest people on the planet. They really are. I need this. I need this. Well, I want this. But that's just the way underwriters are. And if you don't satisfy the underwriter, your loan doesn't get done. So underwriter will tell me, underwriter will tell Brenda, we will email your buyer. We will CC you on what we still need. Okay, they can go out and shop for mortgage or for insurance, not mortgage insurance, homeowners insurance. That's really important that they do this. And again, this is going to be on that welcome letter that I send to them bit by bit by bit by bit. It just breaks everything down as they go. Okay. Once we get everything into the system, we get everything back from the underwriter, we send it to the final underwrite. We get the title company on board, get everything we need, send it to the final underwrite. Underwriter comes back clear to close. Yay. That's our favorite words. So clear to close. What happens after you get the clear to close? Well, then we call the buyer, and we've been in contact with the buyer the whole time. But we give them those 3 great little words, and we also let you know as well. Hey, we're clear to close. So what we'll do is we will schedule with the title company a closing date that you've already put on the contract, and we'll make sure that we're hitting those dates. And we'll schedule a time with the title company, make sure that our closers and our title and your title company get everything together, reconcile everything. What will happen is 3 days prior to their closing, okay, or maybe a week before, we'll send what's called an initial closing disclosure. The initial closing disclosure has all the closing costs from the title company, has all of our fees, any discounts that we've applied to that closing disclosure. The initial closing disclosure means nothing. All it does is it starts the clock. There's a 3-day clock before you can close on a loan. It's federal law. Okay. So once we send the CD out, let's say we send it out on a Monday, we can close on the following Wednesday. Monday counts. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. So you generally will say Thursday just for giggles. But as long as we have the 3 days, we're good. Now, during that 3 days, the closers and the title company. We'll get everything reconciled, make sure all the escrows are correct, make sure everything else is correct on this file, and then we'll get the final CD at least 24 hours ahead of time. I will share that final CD with your buyers and with you, and I'll go over everything on it. Look, this is your final cash to close. If you're bringing 10%, 10% is coming from you. Okay, you're bringing $25,000 to the table. Here's what you're bringing. Here's how you're going to do it. We can get the title company to send wiring instructions to them, or they can go get a cashier's check or a money order or whatever they want to get. It can't be a personal check. Generally, I recommend wiring. Once they get to the closing table, takes them about, we can do a hybrid close, by the way. We can do a half and half where they sign it online, half where they sign it at the title company. If they do it online, that's generally the stuff that doesn't have to be notarized. Okay. So it's click, 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 done. They go to the title company. They wet sign the other stuff. That way they don't have to take a leave because their hands are going to cramp up, and they're done in 15, 20 minutes instead of a 45-minute close. So we can do that for them. It's just that easy. So, um, for first-time home buyers, I have a first-time home buyers guide that is amazing. Happy to send that to you. It talks about what to do, what to set up for, what to bring to the table. I always tell people, and on my welcome letter, I tell them, don't quit your job. Don't start a new job. Don't go out and make a big purchase right before we close. Well, we already went out and bought a bunch of furniture. Why? I had somebody about 6 months ago. They were on top of the world. They were so excited, ready to buy a house. 5 days before they were scheduled to close, she went and bought him a birthday present that was a $27,000 motorcycle with a $550 a month payment. That took their debt to income from 46% to 54%. Guess who didn't buy a house? Guess who has to live on their motorcycle? So I cannot stress this enough. I put this in big bold red letters at the bottom of the email. Don't make a big purchase. Don't make any changes. Don't do it. Don't have your credit checked over and over. Now, a lot of people will say, well, I'm having my credit check because I'm buying a car or I'm buying furniture. If you're buying a house and you have your credit checked a couple of times, it's not going to kill your credit. Okay. The credit reporting agencies realize what you're doing if you're looking for a loan. And within a 30-day, I want to say radius, but it's not, within a 30-day time period, they really don't care. You won't get dinged hardly at all. But if you're out looking for furniture and you're looking for a car and you're shopping for credit cards, I keep going through credit cards. I've shopped at Chase, I've shopped at Citi, I've shopped at Discover, and you keep getting turned down, that's going to kill your credit. So if you're wanting to buy a house, don't do it. So, Gary, what am I missing? Am I missing anything?
I think that's pretty good. That's pretty thorough. The thing that I really like is, what you're doing for Lisa. She showed me some examples, like the website you create, the listings she's got. Do all success lenders do that kind of thing, or is it just, I mean, like a lot of lenders, you'll have people more engaged than others.
We can. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up one for you.
Want to learn what's working right now in real estate? Then don't miss Monday Night Live, happening every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Each week, we bring you expert training on real estate investing, agent attraction, lead generation, marketing, and AI-powered strategies to help you work smarter and scale faster. You'll also hear inspiring success stories and lessons learned from some of the most successful real estate leaders and investors in the industry. Whether you're a brand new agent, a seasoned investor, or building a high-performing team, there's something valuable for you every single week. Learn, network, grow. Registration is completely free. Simply visit globalinvestoragent.com to reserve your seat for an upcoming Monday Night Live session. Join us this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and discover strategies you can put to work right away. We can't wait to see you there.
Hey guys, if you have questions, please remember you've got a lender right here in class. I mean, fire them up while you got them.
Let me see if I can find the one I did for Lisa. Here's the
Okay.
one I did. Well, Lisa's is off the market. She already sold hers. So congratulations, Lisa.
Actually,
Um,
she did just have a closing today. That's right.
right. So
Yeah.
there's that one. Um, a lot of these are inactive or off the market because they've sold. Here's one I did. This is in McKinney, Texas. Okay. This is what the website looks like. Can y'all see this? So this is the website that I can create for you. Okay. Up top, you see Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. If you click on this, it will go directly to your website. Okay. So if you're on here, it'll go to you. The phone number, this is your phone number. This is the email of the eXp Realtor who I'm working with on this property. Okay. Stunning Creekside 1 acre retreat. We can put whatever title you want on it. Okay. This gives a brief description, gives the price of the house, gives the address of the house. Okay. Um, and the description is a little more detailed when it gets down here. Okay. Here's the house itself, square footage, number of bedrooms, year built, number of bathrooms. Okay. And you can scroll through the pictures right here if you want to. So
Mm.
it gives you a
Wow.
description and it gives you a way that you can look at all the pictures of this house. But there's also a gallery down here where you can choose each picture. Okay. There's 33 pictures that I can upload for you on this particular house. Front, back, interiors, you name it, we got it. Okay. This shows where the property is located in McKinney, Texas. Okay. Right there. This is the location of the property. Recent sales. What's sold around me in the last 6 months? Well, let's take a look. Of course, we get the spinning circle of doom in the middle of the screen for this, so it won't tell us. Great. Let's see if we can. No, there it is. Okay. These are nearby schools. Actually, no, these are recent sales. So there's a lot of them. So it shows you 207 Gadwall. That's this one right here because it lit
Mhm.
up yellow. It sold on June 5th for $813,000. You scroll all the way down, you see how the things change, the arrows change color.
Mhm.
All the way down, it tells you what you need to know. These are the houses that have sold around you. Nearby schools. These are all the schools around you. McKinney Boyd, great high school. Okay, this is a K through fifth grade. A lot of people are worried about the schools that their kids are going to go to. They want to know where they're at. This tells you everything that's within a 3 mile radius. Okay, a lot of people, it's really important to a lot of people. Okay, area details, rent versus own. So the people that rent in the area where we're selling the house, 25% of the people that live around there are renters. 71% are owners. Not sure about the other whatever percentage, because
Hmm.
that's not 100, but it just kind of gives you total dwellings in the area 20,924. Okay. Low concentration of renters, higher percentage of owners is best for rising values. Okay. So that gives you a real good idea. Okay. So this is the commute times. Well, from where you live, 27 minutes is the average commute. Average people who commute by carpool, people who bicycle to work. Well, not here in Texas, not during
Hmm.
summer, because you will melt.
Hmm.
Income. What's the average income of the area? $170,000, the median annual household income in the area. Average individual income, 45,000. That's for the zip code. Cost of living. What's cost of living? Well, you can decipher all that if you want to. I leave that to you. So, food and beverages. There's a lot of restaurants in McKinney. I can tell you that for a fact. Health, 86%. Entertainment. There's a lot of entertainment too. There's movie theaters for miles in McKinney. So, and here's your agent. This is where I put all your information. That's Dave. He's Lionheart Realty, eXp. There's your logo. There's all your information. Mobile, email, your website. If you have a website through eXp, I will put it on there for you. If you own your own brokerage or you have your own brokerage, I'll put that here. This is your address of where you work. If you don't want your address, I'll just put McKinney, Texas, or wherever you're at and your zip code. Interested in the showing? Well, this is the schedule of showing thing I was telling you about. Put their name, their email. I just viewed the property at 108 Appalachian Way. and I'm interested in the showing, please contact me at, and then they put their phone number, send a message, you get the email. Loan comparisons. This is so cool. So, because it's $1 million house, it's probably going to be a little higher than the um, conventional loan programs. So this one, 20% down is going to be a jumbo. So the loan amount would be 959.2 because you're putting 20% down. Now, if you want to get it down to the conforming rate I think is 853, something like that. I forget what it is. But let's say the interest rate on jumbo is 7.5. Okay. Now this was a while back when we priced this out. This gives the interest rate, APR, principal and interest, the estimated taxes for the property, estimated insurance for the property, no MI, there's no HOA, and this is their total monthly payment, $79.50. If they put 10% down, it's $119.9, gives the loan amount. The interest rate's going to be up there because it's, you're only putting 10% down on a jumbo, gives the APR, and down here the monthly payment's going to be $10,323. The MI, because they didn't put 20% down, it's going to be $495. Okay. VA, you can do a VA, high balanced. You can do it. 0 down, 6 1/8 rate. Their payment's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than putting 10% down on a jumbo if they're a VA. Hazard insurance, real estate, principal and interest, 74.53. 6 1/8. APR 6.163. You know how you can tell how somebody's overcharging somebody on closing costs? Look at the difference between an interest rate and an APR. If the interest rate is 6.125 and your APR is 6.163, your closing costs are nil. If you have somebody who has a 6.125 and their APR is 7 or above, that's not good. That 10% down jumbo, the APR is higher, but it's not a full point higher. You see the 20% down on the 30-year fixed on the jumbo, 7.5, 7.564. So if you see somebody who's presenting you something and their APR is so much higher than the regular rate, they're getting rooked. And I'm happy to talk to them about it. Okay. So these are all estimates subject to change at any time because you have to put that. So again, if anybody's going to put down a rate, let me do it. Okay. Not you. Okay. That says the information and you can read through that if you like. But this is a lot of fun right here. This is where your buyers can go in and play with the numbers. Here's the sales price. Well, I want my down payment to be 25%. Okay. So I'm going to change this to 25%. Set the value. So did you hear the little sound effect too? Wow. Well, it's made the sound of a machine ticker tape.
Oh, okay.
But the down payment 20%, the interest rate 6%. Okay. This gives you all the things that you need to know. And right there, it just popped up with your payment, $69.30. If you put 25% down. You can change it all day long. You can change it to a 30, you can change it to a 20, you can do whatever you want. Okay. So you can play with this too, or your buyers can play around with it, whatever they want to do. Here's all my information. This is my office. This is my mobile. This is my cell. This is my website. So I can send this to you if you like. Success Lending. Our main office is in Schaumburg, Illinois. I'm in Dallas, Texas. If you like, I can hang my phone out the window and you can hear my grass screaming just to prove it. Yeah, it's only 103 here today.
Oh boy.
Are you qualified for financing? A lot of people are like, well, I don't even know if I'm going to qualify. Here's how you find out. Let's go to apply now. This is going to take you to my website. You're one step closer. Okay. And this is the portal I was telling you about. Okay. They can continue here and it will take them into the application. I'm not going to click that because I don't want to trigger an app. But they can log in here and go right back into where they were before after they've e-signed their initial disclosures. They can upload everything they've got. Over here on the right side of the screen will be everything that they need. Okay.
Now, the agents, would they just introduce their clients to you directly, or can the agents share this like with their clients themselves, or what's the preferable?
They can do whatever they like. I am totally wide open. If they want to call me and do a three-way call, I'm happy to do it, just to do a warm handoff. If they want to run numbers while they're on the phone, happy to do it. You want to send me an email that says, "Hey, I've got these buyers who are really serious about looking. Can you give them a call?" I will call them immediately. Okay. My cell phone, I will put all my information in the chat if you'd like me to. You can call me or you can text me. I know you guys are on the West Coast, right?
We're actually all over. We're literally
All over.
California to
Okay.
Maine and everywhere in between. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
So West Coast folks, if you're a couple hours behind me, I think it's what, 5 o'clock out there. It's 7 o'clock Central and it's
Mhm.
8 o'clock on the East Coast. See, I'm
Yeah.
good at time zones. My mother, not so much. So it's 4:15 here. Is it 6 o'clock there? No. No, Mom, that's not the way it works.
Well,
Um,
now Chris, we also have guests on in our classes. Every week we have people from different brokerages, sometimes even investors themselves. But if someone is Caldwell Bank or Remax, can they still use you? I mean,
yes,
this is some
yes,
amazing. Okay,
absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
We'll work with Coldwell Banker, Keller Williams. I'm doing one with Century 21. I have a branch down in
Hmm.
New Mexico that is Century 21 in Las Cruces, and I work with a lot of their agents down there. So I can work with anybody. I mean, I'm kind of like a one-stop shop, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, whatever you guys need. Let's see. Where was I?
Well, I've known a lot of lenders over the years, man. You're definitely top tier, dude.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate
Really.
it.
Oh yeah.
So here's some of the marketing stuff that I was telling you about. Let me get back out of this. Let's see. Let me
Okay.
go here. Let me see a flyer here. And I'll just show you, actually, yeah, I'll show you one that I can do with Lisa since I have all of her stuff.
Hmm.
Let me go down here. Let me go to let's do the veterans credit. So this is how long it takes me to put this together. Okay. Co-brand, boom, boom, real estate agent, boom, Lisa, boom, done.
Look at that.
That's all there is to it. She's in Grants Pass. This is
Yeah.
all of her information right there. And I will send this out via email as an attachment. You guys can print these out. You can print as many as you want, or you can keep them in a file and send them to your buyers. Hey, you're doing a VA. We have a $1,500 lender credit. It's not
Mhm.
just Success offering it, it's eXp offering it too. Now, here's the really, really cool part. Okay. Um, the rev share. Okay. A lot of people have asked about rev share. Revenue share is, let me get this off the screen here real fast. Um, revenue share, what happens is when we close a loan together, 50% of what we make goes to eXp. 50%. It's a lot. Okay.
Mhm.
$1 million loan, you're getting 50% of what we make. Part of that money is going to go back to you as part of your stocks. Your stocks will increase in value. Now, do I know what that percentage is? Nope. Will your managing broker know? Probably. Will this guy on the other end of the screen here, Gary Wilson, know? Maybe.
Mhm.
But you guys can you make money on number one on your commissions. Number two, it's time for dinner. Um, number two, you make money on your stocks. So your stocks are going to increase in value. Will it increase your stock count? No, but it will increase the value. The more we do business together, the more value you get on your stocks. Make sense?
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean it's kind of a win-win thing. As I said at the very beginning, you make money, we make money. You own eXp, we own Success, you own Success. Congratulations, you guys just bought yourself a mortgage company,
Mhm.
you know? So I'm happy to help with whatever you need. I'm available whenever you need me. I've always told people this, when you're working, I'm working. Okay. On the weekends, I will say this, Sundays, usually for me and the kids. Okay. Do church in the morning, go get a little lunch, hang out with the kids in the afternoon. But anytime you need me, if it's a Sunday night, you're like, I got to have a prequel, I'll get you a prequel. Okay. If it's a Saturday
Mhm.
afternoon and I'm available, I've got everything that I can do on my computer, I can do on my phone. I have everything available on my phone. So if I'm somewhere where I can't get to my computer, I can get you something if you need it, like right then and there. Okay. If I can't, I'll get back to my office as fast as I can. My office is in my house. See, look, guitars, look,
Yeah.
yay. So
Mhm.
I'll get you whatever you need.
Okay.
Prequels, pre-authorizations, pre-approvals, um, uh, pre whatever, pre this, pre that, you name it, I'll get it. If you need something sent to a title company or if you need me for anything, again, call me, text me, smoke signals if you need to. I'll get back to you. I promise.
Okay.
Okay. That again, that's my biggest thing is communication. See, my other thing is wearing stylish hats. Thank you very much. And I'm happy. Oh, by the way, we're about to get these as well, and I'm happy to send these to you. Yes. Right?
Okay.
I know,
Mhm.
right? Everybody? Okay, stop drooling. I know.
Yeah.
And it's yeah, I haven't really written in mine yet. I guess I should. But we'll even send you a pen too. Get excited. So, but yeah, I mean, whatever you need, whatever you got, hit me.
Okay.
So I guess I'm done talking now. I'm gonna shut up.
Well,
So
I tell you what, I really appreciate you doing this class. And it was exactly what I was hoping for. And I know a lot of people may have to replay it. The recording's going to come out tomorrow. Um, but the timeline, the sequence of an actual loan, and I know is really important because a lot of agents don't really understand all that happens in a loan, especially in the final moments when it's going to some committee and you're thinking, well, I thought this was a done deal. And I know it's got to get final approval from committee and clear to close. And behind closed doors, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's so many things going on. Like I know this wouldn't happen with success, but one of the things that happened to me early on when I was aggressively building a portfolio was it's called a loans to one ratio, and banks are only allowed to loan only so much to any one borrower. I never heard of that before, and I got turned down from my bank, and I went and called and said, "Can Did I do something wrong? What's going on?" They said, "No, we hit our loans to one ratio. It's based on the asset valuation of the bank, and that fluctuates. So one month that ratio could be down here, next month could be up there. But what they did is introduce me to a couple of the local small banks, and they all know each other. They work together, stuff like that. So I had like five different banks I was using from time to time, and I would just go from one to the other. I never had them compete with each other for my business. They knew they had it, but they would say, well, you're hit the one loans to one ratio here, and another bank would buy one of them, and that would increase that loans to one ratio. And in any case, it was just interesting. Oh, another thing that happened, they this is more of the bigger banks. They would have different silos for different types of loans. So, like a jumbo loan was one silo, and and you know, conventional loans, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae were another silo. Um, HUD, FHA were another silo. And if they got too many loans in any one silo, they would stop making those loans.
no, I remember that. We used to do that
Yeah,
at Bank of America. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And
Well,
they
we
would
don't
still
do
make the
that.
other loans. Yeah,
We don't do that here. We're a direct lender. Okay.
exactly.
We get all our money out of Glenn Stern's pockets. God bless him.
Yeah.
Um, but
Mhm.
Catherine had asked on the chat a minute ago, do we service our own loans? Do we sell them? Sometimes we will service the FHA loans. 9 times out of 10, we're going to sell them. Okay. So in the first 3 months, let's say you close in July, your first payment's
Mhm.
not going to be till September 1st. Okay. In your
Mhm.
closing disclosures, we'll give you 3 coupons of how you can make payments to our parent company, which is Kind Lending. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you don't know Glenn Stern's story, go look him up and look up his wife, Mindy. She's a hoot. If you've ever seen the
Mhm.
movie The Princess Diaries, she was the gym teacher, and I had
Oh,
such a
really?
crush on her. Oh my
Interesting.
God. Yeah, yeah. Got to
Hmm.
meet her in Hawaii a few years ago and just sat there like this. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's an amazing guy. But we do not service our own loans for the most part. Within that first 2 month period, there's a possibility that your loan will be sold. And we tell everybody that. Just be prepared. Okay. You'll get a goodbye letter from Kind Lending. Okay. It'll say, we've really appreciated the opportunity to service your loan. However, you're going to such and such. 9 times out of 10, it'll go to like Loan Care, Lakeview, Mr. Cooper, which is the dumbest name for a lending company I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I know.
And they
Yeah.
missed a huge marketing campaign that they could have done. If you ever saw the show back in the 80s, early 90s called Hanging with Mr. Cooper with Mark
Mm,
Curry, they could have had him as the spokesman, but no, nobody thought about it. But
yeah.
I say that because they're like right across the street from my old office.
Mm,
But we'll sell it to a big servicer. We don't sell them to mom and pop places. Okay, where you're going to make,
yeah.
well, make your payments, just send us a Zelle. No, not the way it works. So,
Mm,
so yeah, they had asked that question, so I wanted to make sure I answered that.
okay. Well, I appreciate that. Hey guys, any final thoughts or questions for Chris?
Bueller,
Yeah.
Bueller, Fry, Fry. Thanks, PF.
There you go. So if you guys could just give Chris a pat on the back, a wave or hand raise or a chat, because this was dinner time for him and you Chris really did a good job and I certainly do appreciate it.
It's all
So
right. I'm diabetic and I'm missing my meals, so I'm okay, Daddy. So I'm fine. So yeah, no, I'm good. So
yeah. Oh,
anyway, the other thing, and I promise, our transactions will not be boring. I swear to God.
good.
So you're the cool thing about this whole thing, and then I'll let everybody go. When we start this process, you're a real estate agent in whatever state you're in. I'm a loan officer in Texas or whatever state of confusion I'm in, and we do this and we become friends during the process. As friends work together, we get to know each other better and we know each other's instincts and where we're going to go with the process. Same thing with a buyer. Okay. When we start, you don't know a buyer from Adam 9 times out of 10. I don't either. But by the time we get through it and we work together during the whole thing, everybody's friends when we're all done. That's the best part about this whole business is that you get to meet people from all over the country every day, and that's what keeps me motivated to do what I do. So, but yeah, doing it with people you have fun with, what's the point if you don't? Really? You can't smile during the day and you sit around and you go, oh my God, where am I going to get my next deal? A lot of people do that. I know, but it happens. But, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, have some fun, man. Laugh it off.
I know we're wrapping up, but there was a question earlier, and I'm not sure if I heard the answer. If you do lending in California.
Yes.
Okay,
I
cool.
am licensed in 36 states. So continuing education is loads of fun.
Oh, yes.
By the way, you won't hear from me from the end of August till the end of September, just so you know. So no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I got a lot of states that I have to take care of. So yeah, and I just completed 40 hours worth of continuing education for Utah. Don't recommend that to anybody. And now I get to go take a 3.5 hour test on stuff that I probably am not going to remember. So, but hopefully I'll be licensed in Utah in the next couple of weeks. So that'll add another
Okay.
And there are a
bullet in my
couple
line.
of postings on the chat from Stephen Washington. That just came in seconds ago.
Yeah, well, let's see. Did you say give us a deal or credit if we're buying our own investment property? Yes. Yes. The usual closing time, give us 30 days, just in case. 9 times out of 10, and I say 9 times out of 10 a lot, don't I? A lot of times, we can get it done a little quicker, but I would say give us 30 days just in case. Okay. You know the old show Star Trek where, you know, Captain Kirk says, I need the Enterprise ready in, you know, 6 weeks. Well, yeah, I'll get it for you, but I'll get it for you in two. You know, he's like, well, do you always multiply everything by three? He's like, yeah, that's why I look like a miracle worker. So if I say 30 days and we can do it in 15, look who the man is, So we'll get it done as fast as you need us to get it done. As long, and again, a lot of people will blame the lenders for this and stuff like that because it's happened before. Well, you said you could get it done in 16 days. Well, it took 19. Yeah, well, your borrowers didn't sign for the first 10. You know, we need your buyers to be on board with a fast close. So if you're going to say, hey, I need this closed by August 1st and we just locked it today, great. Your buyers better be working at warp speed. Sorry, I hate to keep using Star Trek references because I'm a big Star Wars geek. But anyway, yeah. So, but yeah, that's it. Do we offer cash out equity loans on investment property? I got to go check on that one because they keep changing the rules on us. So I'll let you know.
Okay.
That
All
it?
right. Listen. Thanks, everyone. Thanks especially Chris, and appreciate everything you're doing for all of us over here on the sales side. And
Happy to help.
hopefully to see a lot more of you. And this goes out tomorrow. There's several thousand people. So hopefully I've helped, bring some business to you. And we appreciate everything you're doing for Lisa and everybody out there that has a listing. Make sure you put it out there when you're marketing Success Lending and the stuff that Success Lending does, because it's
Last thing, I do have a first-time homebuyers guide that I can send to you guys too. It's about 10 pages, tells them everything they need to know. And if you guys want, I'd be happy to teach a class on it with you. And we'll get a bunch of your first-time homebuyers in on it. Make
okay.
you look like rock gods. So yeah, happy to
We
help.
could do, what we could do, we actually could do a big webinar type format. And we haven't done one of those in a couple years. We used to do them about three times a year for different purposes. And they do work, they really work well,
Yeah, happy to. We can do virtual pizza is really cheap. So yeah, we'll feed everybody that wants to be fed.
Okay. We do a Force Monday Night Live, that we also have a monthly team call. And what we'll do is we'll get this started,
Let me know what you need. I'm on board. I'm totally there.
Okay. Yeah.
Somebody's
Okay,
not-
guys, listen, take care of yourselves. God bless you and all your loved ones. I'll see you on the one-on-ones, and I'll see
You guys have a great
next-
night.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.